If you want to change your life, there's one thing that holds the power to transform everything. It's not luck, it's not talent, and it's definitely not waiting for the perfect moment. What makes the real difference is something far simpler and more accessible: learning. Yes, learning every single day. You might be thinking, how can learning every day really make such a big difference? Let me tell you, it makes all the difference. Every single day you face a choice. You can keep doing what you're doing and simply hope things improve on their own, or you can take charge and start learning in ways that will actually improve your life. Now, I'm not talking about going back to school or enrolling in formal courses. What I mean is something far more personal and dynamic. I'm talking about actively learning something new every day, whether it's reading a book, listening to a podcast, or simply spending time with people who know more than you. This kind of learning makes you smarter, stronger, and opens doors you didn't even know existed. Think about it. Imagine what would happen if learning became a regular part of your routine. If you made it a habit, you would grow in ways you never expected. You would start seeing opportunities where once there were obstacles. Your mind would become sharper, and as your mind sharpens, so would your life. You'd be amazed at how quickly your life starts to follow the growth you experience through learning. Every time you learn something new, it's like adding fuel to your engine, preparing yourself for success. But when you stop learning, that's when you stop growing, and that's the last thing you want. In this video, we're going to dive into why learning every day isn't just a nice idea. It's the key to creating a better life. Stick around, because what you'll learn here can change the way you think, the way you act, and most importantly, the way you succeed. Are you ready? Because you're about to find out how learning every day can open up an entirely new world for you. Stay with me, because this is the kind of information that can change your future. To continue from where we left off, we discussed how learning every day is the key to growth and success. Now, let's dive deeper into how self-education plays a crucial role in determining where you end up in life. When I talk about education, I'm not just referring to what you learn in school. I'm talking about the kind of learning that never stops. Self-education is what allows you to continually grow, and if you stop learning, you stop growing. And the moment you stop growing, you begin to fall behind. While the world keeps moving forward, opportunities keep shifting. If you're not improving, you're losing ground. That's why it's so important to take responsibility for your own education. It's not just about what someone else teaches you, it's about what you go out and learn for yourself. There are two types of people in the world, and the difference between them can determine your future. The first type of person is the one who says, "I already know enough." These are the people who settle. They become comfortable with what they already know, and they stop pushing themselves. They stop reading. They stop learning new skills. They stop searching for better ways to do things. And what happens to them? Their opportunities shrink. Their income stays stagnant. Their lives don't improve. They stay stuck because they believe they've learned all there is to know. On the other hand, there's the second type of person, the one who says, "There's always more to learn." These are the people who never stop improving. They read books, they take courses, they surround themselves with smart people, they invest in their knowledge because they know that knowledge is power. And guess what? These are the people who win. They rise to the top because in a world where most people are satisfied with what they already know, those who continue learning are always ahead of the curve. If you want a better job, you need better skills. If you want more money, you need to learn how to create more wealth. If you want to be successful, you need to study success. Every area of your life is connected to what you know. And here's the great news. You are in full control of how much you learn. You don't need anyone's permission, and you certainly don't need to wait for someone to teach you. You can start educating yourself today. With the internet at your fingertips, learning has never been easier. Books, online courses, videos, mentors. There are endless resources available to you. Yet most people don't take advantage of them. They waste hours watching TV, scrolling through social media, and spending time on things that don't move them forward. Then they wonder why their life isn't changing. The truth is simple. Your life will only change when you change what you know. Think about this. If you had started reading just 30 minutes a day last year, how much smarter would you be right now? How much more confident? How many new opportunities would you have discovered? As we continue our journey into the power of self-education, remember this: what you choose to do with your time is the key to shaping your future. Sadly, the reality is that most people don't make this choice. They spend their time on things that give them nothing in return. Meanwhile, the few who decide to invest in their knowledge, those are the ones who see real progress, the ones who rise to the top. Some might argue, but I don't have time to learn. Well, let me tell you, that's simply not true. You do have time. You have time for whatever you decide is important. You have time for entertainment, for distractions, for things that don't contribute to your growth. So, the real question is, what are you prioritizing? The difference between successful and unsuccessful people is how they choose to spend their time. If you want to be successful, you need to start treating your education as a priority. Every moment you spend learning is an investment in your future. Now let's talk about results, because this isn't just about learning for the sake of learning. It's about learning with purpose. If you're going to spend your time educating yourself, make sure it's knowledge that moves you forward. Learn things that help you make more money, build better relationships, improve your mindset, and create a stronger future. Don't waste your time filling your mind with random, irrelevant information. Focus on knowledge that improves you. Imagine this. What if you committed to learning something valuable every single day? Just a small bit of improvement every day. Where would you be in 6 months? In a year? In 5 years? The answer is simple. You'd be far ahead of where you are now. Why? Because knowledge compounds. The more you learn, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the more opportunities you create for yourself. But here's the catch. Don't just learn. Apply what you learn. Knowledge alone won't change your life. Action is what makes the difference. Too many people collect information, but they never put it to use. They read books, watch videos, take notes, but they don't take action. Don't be that person. Be the one who learns and then does something with it, because that's where the real power lies. Success isn't a mystery. It's not some magical thing that happens to a lucky few. Success is the result of consistent learning and action. It's the fruit of investment in your education. The truth is, success is available to anyone who chooses to act on what they learn. Building on what we've already discussed, remember that success doesn't come overnight, and it doesn't happen by chance. It's a process, and that process starts with education. The more you educate yourself, the more successful you'll become. So, don't wait for things to change. Instead, change what you know. And by doing that, you'll change everything. Decide today to become a lifelong learner. The first type of person is the one who says, "I already know enough." These are the people who settle. They become comfortable with what they already know, and they stop pushing themselves. They stop reading. They stop learning new skills. They stop searching for better ways to do things. And what happens to them? Their opportunities shrink. Their income stays stagnant. Their lives don't improve. They stay stuck because they believe they've learned all there is to know. On the other hand, there's the second type of person, the one who says, "There's always more to learn." These are the people who never stop improving. They read books. They take courses. They surround themselves with smart people. They invest in their knowledge because they know that knowledge is power. And guess what? These are the people who win. They rise to the top because in a world where most people are satisfied with what they already know, those who continue learning are always ahead of the curve. Read, study, improve, and never stop growing. The truth is simple. Your level of education directly determines your level of success. And guess what? That means you have full control over how high you can go. The power to transform your life is in your hands, and it all starts with the decision to start now. Watch as your life begins to transform right before your eyes. Now let's dive deeper into why learning every day makes you not only smarter, but also stronger. Your mind is just like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The more you feed it, the sharper it becomes. Just like you wouldn't expect your body to stay fit without regular exercise, you can't expect your mind to stay sharp without daily learning. Learning every day makes you smarter and stronger. It gives you an edge in life. It sets you apart from the crowd and opens doors that might otherwise remain closed. Think about the people who always seem to be one step ahead in life. The ones who always have the right answers, the ones who make the best decisions, the ones who navigate through life with confidence. Do you think they're just lucky? No, that's knowledge at work. They've trained their minds to recognize opportunities, solve problems, and think ahead. They didn't get there by accident. They got there because they made learning a daily habit. Most people don't do this. They wake up, go through the motions, repeat the same routine day in and day out, and never take the time to learn something new. Then, they wonder why their life isn't changing, why their problems never seem to go away, why they feel stuck. It's simple. If you're not learning, you're not growing. Continuing from where we left off, we've seen how learning every day makes you smarter and stronger. But there's even more to this process. Learning is the foundation of growth. If you're not growing, you're falling behind. Learning isn't just about gathering information. It's about sharpening your thinking, improving your decision-making, and ultimately becoming a better version of yourself. Every time you learn, you're adding to your ability to solve problems, to make better choices, and to create new opportunities. Life rewards those who are prepared, and learning is the key to that preparation. Now, let's talk about what happens when you commit to learning every single day. First, your confidence grows. When you know more, you feel more capable. You stop second-guessing yourself. You start making decisions with clarity and confidence. You become someone who trusts their own judgment because you've invested time in building a solid foundation of knowledge. Next, learning keeps your mind active and sharp. There's a reason why the most successful people, business leaders, entrepreneurs, top performers, are constantly reading, studying, and improving. They know that the moment they stop learning, they start losing their edge. They don't wait for knowledge to come to them. They go out and get it. But it's not just about knowledge, it's about strength. Daily learning makes you stronger, not just mentally, but in every area of life. It gives you the tools to handle challenges, to adapt to changes, and to find solutions when others see only obstacles. Life will always throw problems your way, but the more you learn, the better equipped you are to tackle them head-on. The truth is, there are no limits to what you can learn. And if there are no limits to what you can learn, that means there are no limits to how much you can grow. Every book you read, every new skill you practice, every bit of useful knowledge you pick up, it all adds up. It builds. Building on what we discussed, remember that learning compounds over time, and with each bit of knowledge you gain, you transform into someone capable of handling bigger opportunities, greater responsibilities, and ultimately, bigger rewards. Some people believe that learning stops when school ends, but let me tell you, the real education begins when you take control of your own learning. The moment you realize that success isn't something someone will hand to you, that you have to go out and earn it, that's when you truly begin your journey. And how do you earn success? By learning every single day. Now, some people might say, I don't have time to learn. But that's just not true. You have time for what you decide is important. If you have time to scroll through social media, to watch TV, to waste time on things that don't help you grow, then you have time to learn. It's not about having time. It's about making time. Imagine this. What if you made learning a non-negotiable part of your day? What if, instead of scrolling through your phone, you read for just 30 minutes? What if, instead of listening to music while driving, you listen to an audiobook? What if, instead of killing time, you spent a little time each day improving your skills? How much smarter would you be in 6 months? How much stronger would your mind be in a year? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't intelligence. It isn't talent. It's the willingness to keep learning. The ones who win in life are the ones who never stop improving. They stay ahead of the curve because they never stop adding to their knowledge. And guess what? That's something you can start doing right now. Learning is one of the most powerful habits you can develop. It's what separates the average from the exceptional. It's what gives you control over your future. And the best part? It's something you have full power over. You don't need anyone's permission to learn. You don't need someone to tell you what to study. All you need is to make the decision to grow. Every single day is an opportunity to get smarter, to get stronger, to move closer to your goals, and all it takes is a commitment to learning. So, don't wait for life to teach you the hard way. Take control of your own education. Make learning a daily habit, and watch how fast your life starts to change. As we've discussed, learning is the foundation of success, and it all begins with knowledge. Let's explore how knowledge can truly transform your life. Everything in. Your life can improve. It can be better than it is right now. The way you think, the way you make decisions, the way you handle challenges, all of it depends on what you know. If you want more out of life, the first step is to know more. That's the foundation of success. Think about where you are today. Everything in your life, the job you have, the income you earn, your relationships, your habits, is a reflection of what you know and understand. It's a result of your current knowledge. So, if you want to change anything, if you want to improve your life in any way, you have to start by improving your knowledge. You can't expect new results with the same old thinking. You can't expect to rise higher if you're not learning something new. But here's the thing. Most people don't realize this. They wake up every day, do the same things, follow the same routines, and then wonder why nothing ever changes. But here's the truth. Life doesn't change unless you do. And change starts with learning. If you don't make the effort to expand your knowledge, you'll stay in the same place, facing the same problems, struggling with the same limitations. But the moment you decide to grow, the moment you decide to fill your mind with better knowledge, everything begins to shift. Knowledge gives you power. It gives you the power to make smarter choices, the power to solve problems faster, the power to see opportunities that others miss. The world rewards people who know more, who think sharper, who understand how things work. And that's why the most successful people, no matter what field they're in, are always learning. They don't wait for knowledge to come to them. They actively seek it. As we've seen, success doesn't wait for you. It's something you have to actively seek. The most successful people don't wait for knowledge to come to them. They go out and get it. They read books, they study other successful people, they ask questions, and they seek out information that will give them an advantage. It's this proactive approach to learning that sets them apart. Now, let's look at those who are struggling, the ones who feel stuck in life. It's not because they're incapable or lacking in potential. The reason they struggle is because they haven't taken the time to learn what they need to know to get ahead. They're making decisions based on limited knowledge, and we all know that limited knowledge leads to limited results. But here's the good news. You don't have to stay stuck in that place. You can start upgrading your mind today. You can start filling your mind with better knowledge. And when you do, your life will begin to change. You'll start making better choices. You'll avoid costly mistakes. You'll take the right actions. And over time, those small improvements will add up. They'll compound, and before you know it, you'll have real success. Here's the thing. You don't have to learn everything all at once. You don't need to become an expert overnight. You just have to start. Read a book that will teach you something valuable. Listen to people who have achieved what you want to achieve. Pay attention to what works and what doesn't. Every day, aim to learn something that will make you smarter, something that will help you grow, something that will push you forward. Some people think knowledge is just about gathering facts, but it's much more than that. Real knowledge is about understanding. It's about seeing the big picture, knowing what to do, and knowing when to do it. It's about having the wisdom to make the right moves in life. And that kind of knowledge doesn't come from reading a single book or watching a few videos. It comes from constant learning, constant growth, constant improvement. The truth is, life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by choice. And that choice starts with learning. As we've discussed, life doesn't improve by chance. It improves by change, and that change begins with learning. If you want more opportunities, more success, and more freedom, you have to become the kind of person who can handle those things. And that starts with gaining the knowledge that will prepare you for them. Think about every successful person you admire, whether they're in business, sports, art, or any other field. They didn't get where they are by accident. They reached their level of success because they learned what they needed to learn to succeed. They weren't born with special knowledge. They acquired it. They made learning a priority, and because of that, they now live lives that most people can only dream about. So here's the question for you. What do you need to learn to take your life to the next level? What knowledge are you missing? What skills do you need to develop? What areas of your life need improvement? Once you identify these things, go after the knowledge that will help you grow. Read, study, and learn from people who have already done what you want to do. Absorb the wisdom. That will put you ahead of the game. But most importantly, take action on what you learn. Knowledge alone won't change your life. Applied knowledge will. The more you put into practice what you learn, the faster you'll see results. The faster you'll grow. The faster you'll move toward the life you want. This is how you build a better future. This is how you create a life that is richer, fuller, and more successful. It all starts with better knowledge. Because when you know more, you can do more. And when you do more, you achieve more. And when you achieve more, life rewards you in ways you never imagined. As we've seen, stopping learning means stopping growth. And when you stop growing, you begin to fade. Life is about progress. It's about constantly improving, getting better, and moving forward. Without learning, there is no progress, no improvement, no new heights to reach. Eventually, you'll find yourself stuck in the same place, struggling to figure out why everything feels so stagnant. But here's the truth. Learning doesn't stop when you leave school. It doesn't stop when you hit a certain age or reach a certain milestone. Learning is a lifelong commitment. The world keeps moving forward. New technologies emerge. Industries shift and opportunities come and go. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. It's that simple. When you stop learning, you start to lose that edge. Think about it. There's always someone out there working harder, thinking smarter, and constantly expanding their knowledge. The competition is fierce, and if you're not staying ahead, you're losing ground every single day. There's always someone else striving for more, trying to learn something new, looking for ways to improve. And guess what? Those are the people who are going to succeed. The moment you stop learning, you're essentially telling the world, "I've got it all figured out." But here's the reality. None of us ever have it all figured out. There's always something new to discover, always something that can make us better, smarter, and more efficient. Every successful person you admire, whether in business, sports, or any other field, has one thing in common. They never stop learning. They never stop growing, and that's why they're where they are today. It's not just about accumulating knowledge. It's about actively using that knowledge to keep moving forward. Building on what we've discussed, remember, learning isn't just about accumulating facts. It's about developing the ability to think differently, understanding new concepts and embracing new ideas. It's about applying that knowledge in ways that make you better, sharper, and more capable with every lesson you learn. Every time you learn something new, you're adding to your toolkit. You're building the skills and knowledge you need to take on new challenges, seize new opportunities, and solve new problems. Think about it. How much could you grow in just 1 year if you made a commitment to learn something new every single day? Whether it's reading a book a month, listening to a podcast, taking a course, or attending a workshop, there's no shortage of ways to learn. You can do it at your own pace, in your own time. But the important thing is that you do it. You keep learning. You keep growing. Because if you're not actively learning, then what are you doing? Are you just coasting through life, waiting for success to fall into your lap? That's not how it works. Success isn't handed to you. It's earned by those who are willing to put in the work, by those who are constantly learning, growing, and improving themselves. When you stop learning, you stop taking action to improve. And when you stop improving, you stop moving forward. So let me ask you, where do you want to be in the next year? The next 5 years? The next 10 years? Do you want to be stuck in the same place, wondering why nothing's changing? Or do you want to be moving forward, achieving bigger goals, conquering bigger challenges? The difference between these two outcomes lies in whether or not you keep learning. If you want to go higher, if you want to do more, if you want to be more, you've got to commit to learning every day. And guess what? It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to attend expensive seminars or take lengthy courses. As we've seen, learning is a continuous process, and every day provides an opportunity to grow. But what if you're thinking, I don't have time to learn every day? Let me remind you, everyone is busy. Everyone has a million things on their plate. But here's the difference. Successful people don't let that stop them. They make time to learn. They make time to grow. They understand that their future depends on what they do today, and that's why they stay ahead. That's why they succeed. The truth is simple. You're either learning or you're falling behind. There's no middle ground. If you want to stay ahead of the game, you have to keep your mind sharp, keep your skills fresh, and keep improving every single day. It doesn't matter if you're 20 or 60. If you're still learning, you're still growing. And as long as you're growing, you're still moving towards success. So, don't ever stop. Keep learning, keep growing, and you'll always be one step ahead. Success isn't about being perfect. It's about being better than you were yesterday. It's about embracing the process of learning, knowing that every step forward is a step toward a brighter future. Remember, if you stop learning, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you stop living the life you're capable of. As we've already discussed, your mind needs constant nourishment to thrive, just like your body needs food. So let's dive deeper into how feeding your mind can transform your life. If you don't constantly feed your mind with new knowledge, you'll find yourself feeling stagnant, uninspired, and mentally exhausted. The world around you is always changing, evolving, and presenting new opportunities. In order to keep up, stay sharp, and make the best decisions, your mind needs to be continuously nourished with fresh information. You can't survive on yesterday's meals. Just like your body needs a variety of nutrients to function properly, your mind requires a constant flow of new ideas, perspectives, and insights to perform at its best. If you want to improve your thinking, you have to feed it with the right material. The more knowledge you gain, the more equipped you become to handle life's challenges, make smarter decisions, and move closer to your goals. When you feed your body, you're providing it with the energy it needs to move, work, and carry out everyday tasks. But when you feed your mind, you're providing it with the tools to think critically, solve problems, and unlock your full potential. Think about it. The more you learn, the better you become at seeing the bigger picture, understanding complex situations, and finding creative solutions to problems. Knowledge sharpens your mind and strengthens your ability to succeed. Just like food nourishes your body and helps it grow stronger, knowledge nourishes your mind, helping it grow more powerful. Now think back to the last time you learned something new. Maybe it was a new skill, a new idea, or a new way of thinking. How did you feel afterward? Energized? Motivated? More confident? That's the power of feeding your mind. It gives you the mental energy to keep pushing forward and to keep growing. As we've discussed, the key to growth is feeding your mind with the right material. Let's now explore how doing so consistently can truly propel you forward. You can't expect to thrive in life if you're feeding your mind with negativity, ignorance, or outdated ideas. Just like putting junk food into your body won't help you reach your health goals. Feeding your mind with the wrong material won't help you reach your personal or professional goals either. If you want to succeed, you have to feed your mind with positive, empowering, and uplifting knowledge. The more you learn, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the better equipped you are to tackle life's challenges and seize new opportunities. Don't ever think that you know it all. Just as you can't survive on one meal, you can't survive on one idea or piece of information. Your mind needs to be constantly fed to stay sharp, and the more knowledge you feed it, the more powerful and unstoppable you become. Every new piece of information you gain, every new skill you acquire, and every new idea you discover adds another layer to your mental strength. It strengthens your thinking, improves your decision-making, and enhances your ability to achieve success. That's why learning is an investment in your future, an ongoing effort to develop your potential. So, make it a habit to feed your mind every day. Read a book, listen to a podcast, take a course, watch a documentary. Whatever it is that adds value to your mind, make sure you're doing it regularly. Just like you make time for meals throughout the day, make time for knowledge. It doesn't have to be hours at a time. Even just 15 minutes a day of reading or learning something new can make a huge difference in your mindset, your personal growth, and your ability to reach your goals. Your mind is your most powerful asset. Treat it with care, feed it with the right knowledge, and watch as it drives you toward success. As we've seen, feeding your mind with knowledge is key to unlocking your full potential. Let's dive deeper into how nurturing your mind can truly empower you. Your mind is a powerful tool. It's what drives your success, shapes your future, and determines your potential. But just like any tool, it requires maintenance and nourishment. Don't let your mind go hungry. Feed it with knowledge. Feed it with inspiration. Feed it with new ideas. The more you feed your mind, the stronger and more capable it becomes. And here's the best part. The more you feed your mind, the more it can feed you. When you equip yourself with the knowledge, insights, and skills you need, you'll find that your life becomes easier to navigate. Problems won't seem as overwhelming, challenges won't feel as daunting, and success won't seem so far out of reach. The knowledge you feed your mind will empower you to take action, to think differently, and to create the life you truly desire. So, just like you never skip meals to nourish your body, never skip the chance to feed your mind. Knowledge is the food your mind craves, and it's the key to unlocking your full potential. Every day you learn something new, every day you add a little more to your mental toolkit, you're becoming stronger, smarter, and more capable. And with that kind of mindset, there's nothing that can stop you. Keep feeding your mind and watch how it transforms your life. Building on what we've discussed, learning is the key to overcoming obstacles and constantly improving yourself. When you stop learning, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you stop progressing. There is no plateau in success. It's a journey of constant evolution. Think about it. The most successful people you know, the ones who inspire you, they're not the ones who stopped seeking knowledge. They're the ones who stayed curious, who kept asking questions, and who kept striving to improve themselves and their skills. It's this constant hunger for more knowledge, more insight, and more understanding that sets them apart. Success doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen because you have a great idea and then just sit back. It happens because you put in the effort to learn, to refine, and to adapt. Every day that you choose to learn something new, you're investing in your future. Every book you read, every podcast you listen to, every conversation you have that teaches you something new, it all adds up. It all contributes to your success. There's a misconception that success is about being born with something special or having a head start in life. But the reality is, success is about what you're willing to do with what you have. It's about your willingness to keep learning, to keep growing, and to keep striving. The more you learn, the more you position yourself to take advantage of opportunities. Knowledge gives you the ability to recognize those opportunities when they appear, and the wisdom to seize them when the time is right. Consider someone who's just starting out in their career. They might not have the connections or resources that others do, but they can still succeed if they're committed to learning and improving. It's their determination to keep learning that will propel them forward. Building on what we've discussed, we've established that learning is the driving force behind success. But let's dive deeper into why it's the foundation of lasting achievement. The people who succeed, no matter where they start, have something that pushes them to the top: the drive to learn. They spend their evenings reading books, listening to experts, attending seminars, and actively building their knowledge base. They might not have all the skills today, but if they're committed to learning, they will develop those skills over time. And as they grow, so will their potential. The path to success is built on learning, on gaining new insights, and on making yourself better every single day. But here's the truth. Learning isn't always easy. Sometimes it's frustrating. Sometimes it's challenging. And sometimes it feels like you're not getting anywhere. But that's the thing about success. It doesn't come instantly. It comes from the daily grind, from the commitment to keep going, even when it feels hard. Every time you learn something new, you're taking a step toward your goals, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. Success is also about being willing to adapt. The world around us is always changing, and if you don't keep learning, you'll fall behind. The skills and knowledge that served you yesterday might not be enough today. You need to keep evolving, to stay relevant. The more you learn, the better equipped you are to face new challenges, to understand new concepts, and to keep up with an ever-changing world. Think about the people you admire the most. Chances are, they didn't achieve success by sticking to what they already knew. They were always searching for new ways to improve, new ideas to explore, and new challenges to take on. They embraced the learning process, and in doing so, they created their own success. Building on what we've discussed, we've learned that success doesn't just come from hard work. It also comes from working smarter, from applying what you've learned to improve your strategies, your approach, and your mindset. The more you learn, the better your decisions will be. The more you learn, the better your understanding of the world around you becomes. And the more you learn, the more confident you'll be in your ability to navigate the challenges that come your way. Here's the key. When you keep learning, you don't just accumulate knowledge, you build confidence. Knowledge is power, yes, but applied knowledge is even more powerful. When you have the right tools in your mental toolkit, you can approach any situation with assurance. Whether it's a career challenge, a personal goal, or a difficult decision, you'll have the wisdom to navigate it. The process of learning also helps you discover your passions and your strengths. It allows you to try new things, experiment, and figure out what excites you. And once you find that thing that sparks your passion, learning becomes even more enjoyable. It's no longer just a task, it becomes a journey. You'll realize that the more you learn, the more you uncover about yourself and your potential. Success is not reserved for a select few. It's available to anyone who is willing to put in the work and keep learning. But here's the catch. You have to commit to the process. You have to stay open to new information, new ideas, and new ways of thinking. Don't limit yourself to what you know right now. The world is full of knowledge, full of opportunities to grow, and full of chances to get better. And when you keep learning, you keep growing. Continuing from where we left off, we've seen how learning fuels growth and how that growth leads to success. But success doesn't just happen by chance. It happens through consistent effort. So, don't stop learning. Make it a daily habit. Whether it's reading a book, watching a tutorial, attending a seminar, or simply listening to a podcast, make the effort to feed your mind every day. The more you learn, the more you'll understand how to navigate the world, how to overcome challenges, and how to achieve your goals. And with every bit of knowledge you gain, you're that much closer to the success you're working toward. Your success is waiting for you, but it won't come if you stop learning. Keep pushing, keep growing, and keep learning. Because when you do, success will be there, ready for you to claim. Now, let's dive into how knowledge directly impacts your ability to make better decisions. The more you know, the better choices you make. Stay with us as we explore how knowledge and decision-making are tightly connected. The more knowledge you gain, the better decisions you'll make. It's as simple as that. The choices you make today will shape your future, and the better your decisions, the better your future will be. Knowledge gives you the clarity, the confidence, and the understanding to make decisions that propel you forward rather than hold you back. When you're well informed, you're in a position to make choices that align with your goals, your values, and your vision for your life. Now think about a time when you had to make a decision that felt tough. Maybe it was a career choice, a financial decision, or even a personal matter. Did you feel uncertain? Were you unsure of which direction to take? That feeling of uncertainty often comes from a lack of knowledge. But when you're well equipped, with the right information, making decisions becomes much easier. The right knowledge fills in the gaps, helps you understand the risks and rewards, and empowers you to move forward with confidence. As we've discussed, knowledge gives you the clarity to make better decisions and move forward with confidence. Now, let's explore how that clarity plays a crucial role in your growth. If you're trying to grow in any area of your life, whether it's your career, your relationships, your health, or your personal development, the more you know, the better your choices will be. The more you learn about your field of interest, the more you understand the options available to you. And the more options you have, the better you can make a choice that's aligned with where you want to go. Knowledge gives you power, the power to choose the path that leads to your success. Let's consider something as simple as managing your finances. If you don't have enough knowledge about budgeting, investing, or saving, you might make decisions that aren't in your best interest. But when you educate yourself about money management, when you learn how to make your money work for you, you start to see opportunities you might have missed. You begin to make choices that not only secure your financial future, but also help you build wealth. Your knowledge of money makes all the difference in the decisions you make about spending, saving, and investing. The same is true for your career. The more you know about your industry, your skill set, and your opportunities, the better equipped you are to make the right choices for your professional life. Whether you're deciding to take on a new project, pursue a promotion, or switch careers entirely, knowledge is the key to making informed decisions. Without the right knowledge, you might make decisions based on fear, impulse, or a lack of understanding. But when you're armed with the right information, you can confidently make decisions that will move you forward. As we've explored, making informed decisions is essential for progress in every aspect of life. Now let's dive deeper into how self-knowledge plays a crucial role in shaping your choices and your future. The more you learn about yourself, the more you understand your strengths, your values, and your desires. This deeper understanding will lead to better decisions in every area of your life. If you don't understand what you truly want, how can you make decisions that reflect that? When you invest in self-knowledge, you gain the insights needed to make choices that align with your true self. The more you know about what drives you, what excites you, and what challenges you, the more you can build a life that's truly fulfilling. Your decisions about who you spend time with, where you work, and how you live will all reflect your deeper understanding of yourself. And here's the thing. The decisions you make today don't just affect you and the people who succeed, no matter where they start, have something that pushes them to the top. The drive to learn. They spend their evenings reading books, listening to experts, attending seminars, and actively building their knowledge base. They might not have all the skills today, but if they're committed to learning, they will develop those skills over time. And as they grow, so will their potential. The path to success is built on learning, on gaining new insights, and on making yourself better every single day. But here's the truth. Learning isn't always easy. Sometimes it's frustrating, sometimes it's challenging, and sometimes it feels like you're not getting anywhere. But that's the thing about success. It doesn't come instantly. It comes from the daily grind, from the commitment to keep going, even when it feels hard. Every time you learn something new, you're taking a step toward your goals, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. Success is also about being willing to adapt. The world around us is always changing, and if you don't keep learning, you'll fall behind. The skills and knowledge that served you yesterday might not be enough today. You need to keep evolving, to stay relevant. The more you learn, the better equipped you are to face new challenges, to understand new concepts, and to keep up with an ever-changing world. Think about the people you admire the most. Chances are they didn't achieve success by sticking to what they already knew. They were always searching for new ways to improve, new ideas to explore, and new challenges to take on. They embraced the learning process, and in doing so, they created their own success. Building on what we've discussed, we've learned that success doesn't just come from hard work. It also comes from working smarter, from applying what you've learned to improve your strategies, your approach, and your mindset. The more you learn, the better your decisions will be. The more you learn, the better your understanding of the world around you becomes. And the more you learn, the more confident you'll be in your ability to navigate the challenges that come your way. Here's the key. When you keep learning, you don't just accumulate knowledge, you build confidence. Knowledge is power, yes, but applied knowledge is even more powerful. When you have the right tools in your mental toolkit, you can approach any situation with assurance. Whether it's a career challenge, a personal goal, or a difficult decision, you'll have the wisdom to navigate it. The process of learning also helps you discover your passions and your strengths. It allows you to try new things, experiment, and figure out what excites you. And once you find that thing that sparks your passion, learning becomes even more enjoyable. It's no longer just a task, it becomes a journey. You'll realize that the more you learn, the more you uncover about yourself and your potential. Success is not reserved for a select few. It's available to anyone who is willing to put in the work and keep learning. But here's the catch. You have to commit to the process. You have to stay open to new information, new ideas, and new ways of thinking. Don't limit yourself to what you know right now. The world is full of knowledge, full of opportunities to grow, and full of chances to get better. And when you keep learning, you keep growing. Continuing from where we left off, we've seen how learning fuels growth and how that growth leads to success. But success doesn't just happen by chance. It happens through consistent effort. So, don't stop learning. Make it a daily habit. Whether it's reading a book, watching a tutorial, attending a seminar, or simply listening to a podcast, make the effort to feed your mind every day. The more you learn, the more you'll understand how to navigate the world, how to overcome challenges, and how to achieve your goals. And with every bit of knowledge you gain, you're that much closer to the success you're working toward. If you're looking to build something bigger, better, and more meaningful, it all starts with changing the way you think. When you grow your mind, you create the foundation for growth in every other area of your life. It all starts with a commitment to learning. Every day that you learn something new, you're not just gaining knowledge, You're expanding your capacity to think in new and powerful ways. The more you know, the more your brain has the tools it needs to solve problems, make better decisions, and recognize opportunities. Building on the idea that growing your mind leads to growth in every area of your life, let's explore how this growth empowers you to navigate the challenges that come your way. When you grow your mind, you become sharper, more focused, and better equipped to handle the obstacles life throws at you. You start to solve problems, overcome obstacles, and recognize opportunities that might have otherwise gone unnoticed. But growing your mind isn't just about gathering information. It's about improving the way you process that information. It's about learning how to think more effectively, how to analyze situations, and how to make better decisions. Your mind is like a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it gets. When you challenge yourself to think differently, to look at the world from new perspectives, you stretch your mind and allow it to grow in ways that will pay off in every area of your life. Take a moment to think about someone you admire, someone you look up to. What do they have that you don't? What makes them successful, confident, and able to accomplish great things? One thing they've likely mastered is the ability to grow their minds. They understand that the key to success is constantly expanding their knowledge, challenging their thinking, and being open to new ideas. If you want to achieve more in life, you need to adopt the same mindset. Success doesn't come from staying the same. It comes from growth, from continuously improving and evolving. When you grow your mind, you unlock new possibilities for your life. It's like opening a treasure chest of potential. You begin to see opportunities you never noticed before. You start making connections between things that once seemed unrelated. You begin solving problems more easily, and your mind becomes a powerful tool for success. Building on what we've already discussed, we know that growing your mind opens up new opportunities and helps you navigate life's challenges with confidence. But let's dive deeper into how this growth can help you create the life you want to live. The more you develop your mind, the more you realize that your life is not limited by your circumstances, but by your thinking. When you improve the way you think, you create a life that's full of potential and possibility. The best part? Growing your mind doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a degree or years of formal education. You don't need to be a genius. What you need is a commitment to learning every day. You can grow your mind by reading books, listening to podcasts, having conversations with people who challenge you, and asking questions that push you to think deeper. Even simple actions like journaling, reflecting on your experiences, and setting goals will help stretch your mind and encourage growth. When you grow your mind, you begin to see life differently. Problems no longer feel like roadblocks. They become challenges that you can overcome. You start to look at setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow. You stop seeing yourself as limited and start realizing that you have the power to shape your own future. The more you develop your mind, the more adaptable and capable you become at handling whatever comes your way. But growing your mind isn't just about knowledge and skills. It's also about mindset. Your mindset is how you approach the world. It's your attitude toward challenges, failures, and successes. When you work on developing a growth mindset, you begin to see setbacks as temporary and solvable. You stop being afraid of failure and instead see it as a necessary step in the process of growth and success. Building on the idea of growth mindset, we know that embracing growth allows you to unlock unlimited potential. Let's dive into how this mindset can reshape your entire life. A growth mindset allows you to embrace change, seek out new experiences, and continually push yourself to become better. The more you grow your mind, the more you realize that there is no limit to what you can achieve. Your potential is infinite, and the only thing standing in your way is your willingness to grow. When you decide to take control of your mind, you take control of your life. You begin to create the life you've always dreamed of. But it all starts with growth, personal growth, mental growth, and a commitment to learning every day. If you want to experience a better life, you have to start by growing your mind. Success isn't just about doing things differently, it's about thinking differently. It's about becoming the kind of person who sees opportunities, embraces challenges, and constantly seeks ways to improve. When you grow your mind, you grow your life, and you unlock the doors to success, happiness, and fulfillment. Every single day is an opportunity to learn, grow, and become the best version of yourself. Don't waste a single moment. Make the commitment today to grow your mind, and watch how it transforms every aspect of your life. The life you've always dreamed of is waiting for you, and it all starts with one simple decision: to grow your mind. When you do, everything else will fall into place. Building on the idea that knowledge can empower you to tackle any obstacle, let's take a deeper look at how it can help you solve problems and overcome challenges. You might think that the problem is too big, or that you're not equipped to handle it. But when you realize that the right knowledge can solve any problem, you begin to understand that no challenge is too great for you to overcome. Take a moment to think about it. Every challenge you face has a solution, even if it's not immediately clear. The reason why some people seem to handle problems with ease while others struggle often comes down to their ability to apply the right knowledge. Successful people know that no problem is too complicated if they have the right information and the right mindset. They understand that knowledge empowers them to find solutions, no matter how tough the situation may seem. The great thing about knowledge is that it's available to anyone who is willing to seek it out. Whether you're facing a financial struggle, a relationship issue, a career setback, or any other problem, the right knowledge can help you navigate your way through it. And the best part? Knowledge is not reserved for a select few. It's something you can cultivate every single day. The more you learn, the more you grow, and the more prepared you become to handle whatever life throws your way. Now, let's take a closer look at why the right knowledge can solve any problem. Every problem has a root cause, a reason why it exists. Often we look at a problem and get caught up in the surface level. We may try to fix things by addressing the symptoms without ever getting to the heart of the issue. But when you have the right knowledge, you understand how to look deeper. You're able to identify the real cause of the problem, and once you do, as we've seen, the right knowledge not only helps you solve problems but also prepares you to face challenges with confidence. Let's now dive deeper into how knowledge enables you to handle obstacles more effectively. Think about it this way. When you go to a doctor with a health issue, they don't just treat the symptoms. They gather information, run tests, and diagnose the underlying cause of the problem. Once they have that knowledge, they can prescribe the right treatment. The same principle applies to every area of your life, whether it's business, personal, growth, or relationships. The right knowledge helps you understand the root causes of your problems and equips you with the tools to fix them. Another powerful aspect of knowledge is that it gives you options. The more you know, the more choices you have. You don't have to settle for a single solution or approach. You can explore different strategies, weigh the pros and cons, and choose the path that aligns best with your goals. When you're armed with the right knowledge, you don't feel stuck or limited. You know that there are always multiple ways to solve a problem, and you have the confidence to choose the best one for you. Knowledge also builds confidence. When you understand something deeply, you're no longer intimidated by it. You don't fear failure because you know that with the right information, you can turn things around. The more you educate yourself, the more you realize that problems aren't something to be afraid of. They're just opportunities to apply what you've learned and find a solution. The right knowledge doesn't just give you the tools to solve problems, it helps you prevent them in the first place. When you're constantly learning, you're building a foundation of wisdom and resilience. As we've discussed, knowledge doesn't just help you solve problems, it empowers you to prevent them from becoming larger issues in the future. Let's now explore how this commitment to learning can reshape your approach to life's challenges. When you continually grow your knowledge, you gain understanding that helps you avoid making the same mistakes over and over again. You become more proactive rather than reactive. You can anticipate challenges and be better prepared to deal with them when they arise. In this way, knowledge is not just about fixing problems, but about preventing them from snowballing into bigger problems down the road. But that's not all. Knowledge also has the power to transform your perspective. Sometimes the way we view a problem can make it seem much more difficult than it really is. When you gain a new perspective through learning, you might realize that a problem you once thought was insurmountable is actually much easier to solve than you imagined. Knowledge shifts your mindset, and when you see a problem from a new angle, it often opens up new avenues for solution. The key to unlocking the power of knowledge is a commitment to continuous learning. It's about dedicating yourself to seeking out new information every single day, no matter how big or small. This doesn't mean you need to go back to school or spend hours each day studying. It means making a conscious effort to learn something new every day. It could be reading a book, listening to a podcast, having a meaningful conversation, or simply reflecting on your own experiences. The more you expose yourself to new ideas, the more knowledge you accumulate. And the more knowledge you have, the more capable you become of solving the challenges you face. When you commit to learning, you begin to see the world differently. You understand that problems are not obstacles. They are simply opportunities for you to apply your knowledge and grow. As we've explored, learning not only provides you with solutions but also boosts your confidence in overcoming challenges. Let's take a deeper look at how this process can continue to empower you. The more you learn, the more you realize that the solutions to your problems are within your reach. And that realization gives you the confidence to face anything that comes your way. Ultimately, the right knowledge can solve any problem, but only if you're willing to seek it out, apply it, and trust in your ability to make things better. Every problem you face is an opportunity to grow, to expand your understanding, and to become a stronger, more capable person. So, if you find yourself facing a challenge right now, remember, the solution is out there. All you need to do is commit to learning, and the answers will reveal themselves. The more knowledge you gain, the more powerful you become. And with that power, there's nothing you can't solve. Next, let's talk about how continuous learning opens doors to new opportunities. When you keep learning, life begins to reward you in ways you never imagined. Stay tuned as we explore how learning fuels evolution and leads you toward a life of limitless potential. When you make the decision to keep learning, something incredible happens. Life starts to open up in ways you never imagined. Doors that once seemed locked begin to unlock. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach now feel like they're just around the corner. Keep learning, and life starts to reward you in ways you might not even realize at first. The more you dedicate yourself to learning, the more you begin to see how the pieces of your life come together in the most unexpected ways. Learning is not just about gaining knowledge, it's about growth, evolution, and changing yourself from the inside out. When you commit to learning, you're signaling to the universe that you are ready to evolve, ready to rise to the challenges life throws at you. And as you keep growing, life gives you the rewards that align with your newfound wisdom and strength. As we've seen, investing in your mind is a crucial step in creating a life full of possibilities. Let's explore how this investment pays off over time. When you take the time to invest in your mind, you create a foundation that nothing can take away from you. Education, learning, and knowledge. These are investments that always give back. Sure, they might not pay off overnight, but with consistent effort, the rewards come in ways you never expected. Whether it's in your career, your relationships, or your personal development, the more you invest in yourself, the more you get out of life. In the beginning, the rewards might seem small. Perhaps you're learning something new that isn't immediately changing your life in a big way. But don't let that discourage you. The more you learn, the more you expand your horizons. You might find that the small bits of knowledge you've been gathering start to add up and create a bigger picture. And it's in this bigger picture that the rewards begin to manifest. As you continue to learn, you start to notice something. The world around you changes. People begin to take notice of you. The conversations you have become more meaningful because you can speak on a broader range of topics. You start to build credibility not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because your knowledge is growing. When you build credibility, people begin to trust you. They start coming to you for advice, seeking your opinion, because they know you have something valuable to offer. And with trust comes opportunity. The more you learn, the more capable you become. And the more capable you become, the more likely it is that life will reward you with bigger responsibilities, better opportunities, and greater success. Building. On the idea that learning fuels growth, let's now explore how this process not only shapes your external success, but also transforms you on the inside. As you grow your knowledge, you grow your potential, and with that growth comes the rewards of life. But the rewards of learning aren't just external. As you continue to learn and grow, you also evolve on the inside. You become more confident, more resilient, and more adaptable. You transform into someone who is capable of handling life's challenges because you've built up the strength that comes with knowledge. You see problems not as obstacles, but as opportunities to learn and grow even more. The beautiful thing about learning is that it's never too late to start. No matter where you are in life, no matter how old you are, you can start learning today. And as you continue on your learning journey, you'll begin to realize that there's no limit to what you can achieve. Life doesn't stop rewarding you just because you've reached a certain level. In fact, it keeps rewarding you as you continue to invest in your growth. The more you learn, the more capable you become of handling anything that comes your way, and the more life gives back to you in return. One of the most powerful ways life rewards you through learning is by expanding your network. The more you know, the more you can connect with others, whether it's people in your personal life or professionals in your career. The more you learn, the more valuable connections you can make. You can meet new people, learn from them, and offer them something in return. But this isn't just about people. Life also rewards you with better experiences. When you commit to learning, you start to live with a deeper understanding. You no longer go through life on autopilot. Instead, you begin to appreciate the world around you in ways you never did before. You see beauty in things you never noticed. You understand the value of time and energy. You learn to make better choices, and those choices lead to a richer, more fulfilling life. And let's not forget about the impact that continual learning has on your success. The people who are constantly learning are the ones who end up achieving the most. They're the ones who stay ahead of the curve. They adapt when things change. They innovate when others get stuck. They are always moving forward. As we've seen, continual learning is the key to success and personal growth. Now, let's explore how this commitment shapes the rewards you'll reap. The most successful people are the ones who are constantly improving. They are the ones who show up, keep learning, and keep pushing forward. They keep striving to be better every single day, and as a result, they reap the rewards that life has to offer. Life rewards those who are dedicated to growth, who refuse to quit, and who make learning a lifelong commitment. In the end, the message is simple: keep learning. When you commit to learning, life will begin to reward you in ways you can't even imagine. You'll start noticing how your life begins to shift. You'll see more opportunities, more growth, more success, and more fulfillment. The rewards don't always come right away, but trust that they will. And when they do, you'll realize that the best part wasn't just the rewards themselves, but the journey of learning that brought you there. Keep learning, and life will keep rewarding you. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. You've heard it before: the more you learn, the more you grow. It's not just a catchy phrase, it's the truth. Every day that you commit to educating yourself, you're making an investment in your future. You're setting yourself up for bigger opportunities, better decisions, and a life that's aligned with the success you're striving for. As we wrap up today, I want you to remember this. Knowledge doesn't just stay in your head, it shows up in your life. What you learn today will shape your tomorrow. Whether it's a small habit, a new book, a podcast, or a conversation with someone who challenges you, make learning a priority. The truth is, you're never too busy to learn. It's not about finding the time, it's about making the time. So, keep learning, keep growing, and know that as you educate yourself, life will reward you in ways you can't even imagine right now. Your success is just waiting for you to claim it. The more you learn, the closer you get to the life you've always dreamed of.